Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Cracks in the so-called monolithic or collective West showed for some time, from the very beginning, because each country has its own interest. Therefore, they go with the plan as much as they can, but they will always try to look for their people and their votes, not necessarily to the people because they care. Oh my God, I want to make sure that my citizens are doing great, or are they going to vote for me? And why would they not vote for me? Because what I'm doing is runs against their interests. So therefore, I'm in between following the script given, or the one that I have to follow, versus will I get elected by the rubble again. So in this case, they are with their eyes left and right. We have a little problem here coming from Macron, and Macron was always verbal and tries to play supposedly an independent role in all this coalition and collective West narrative. This article comes from Al Mayadeen, and it's an Arab news outlet. And this is the title. Macron calls out US for double standards on gas prices to EU. Well, Macron, you should have said this from the very beginning when you were required to follow the script and impose sanctions on Russia. You knew that this will happen. You knew, not necessarily France, because France has a it gets its energy mostly from nuclear energy. So they are the only country that's doing this in Europe almost entirely. I think it's 80% nuclear-based energy versus Germany and others who get coal, get gas, get other stuff. The problem is Macron, he doesn't function in a void. He's in the European Union area. He knows that your friend next to you should be closer than the friend from the other town, because your issues are here, are not over there. So therefore, besides the fact that France always tried to be independent, and since a long time ago, independent, and have this, how should I put it, sense of self-importance, which is legitimate, especially because of its economic and military power that, compared with other countries, it has. So let's see what this guy is upset with. The French president slams the US for practicing double standards as it offers EU gas price 3 to 4 times higher than the prices in the American domestic market. So, is that supply and demand? Is that racketeering here? Legal racketeering, right? The French president slams the US. Okay. What are you going to do about it besides that? So during a press conference following the EU summit in Brussels, French President Emmanuel Macron called out US double standard for selling gas to Europe at prices 3 to 4 times higher than it's sold in the US domestic markets. And I'm quoting Mr. Macron. American gas is 3 to 4 times cheaper on the domestic market than the price at which they offer it to Europeans. These are double standards, Macron stated, adding that it concerns sincerely in transatlantic trade and that this issue should be addressed. Another thing is, if you want to be honest about it, in a free market, this is my offer. You take it or you don't take it. We can negotiate. So it seems like your guys negotiated for 3 to 4 times. You don't have to buy it. That's why they sell it to you 3 or 4 times. That's just basic economics, right? Unless you're a communist and you say, no, we're going to dictate how much you can sell it to us and how much we will pay for it. That means you're in control of this. So then it's not free market anymore. It's a controlled market. So yes, it is controlled everywhere, but it doesn't mean that's free market. That's why when people say, oh, capitalist, no, capitalist, the market is going to adjust according to supply and demand. Once you start adjusting certain things, then you adjust here, something else breaks here, so it requires your intervention. You jump over there, you try to fix over there, something else breaks because you fixed here, you fixed here, something else breaks over there, and there you go. You're involved here, you're involved here, you're involved here as a government, who are just people, are not something special, just people like everybody else. So they intervene, so they create an imbalance. So when something happens, you have so many things, so many places where the government intervened that you can't fix it. So the supply and demand, sometimes you're like, it should work, but it doesn't. Why it doesn't work anymore? Because you got all these interventions, all these policies, all these barriers, all these restrictions, and you can't, they run against certain things, and they create a free market environment, and then nothing works. How in the hell would the experts predicted this is going to go that way? It's not going to go that way because they couldn't take into consideration all the policies that the governments implemented to adjust and fix certain things in the market. Therefore, when they say, well, normally should go that way, and actually it's going to turn out it went this way, and they say, oh, they were wrong. You can't take everything in consideration. You just can't just go to a healthy economic environment, which is basic supply and demand. But that's why this guy here is crying, well, they sell it 3 to 4 times. Yeah, if they want, they can ask you, 10 times. Are you going to pay? That's the only question. The same when you go to get a job. Oh my God, the companies are paying too little for this job, and it's exploitation. Did you agree with that deal? Yes. That means shut the fuck up. You don't agree? Don't get the job. And you know what's going to happen? If those guys do not have people like you looking for a job, they will have to. So what they're going to do? They're going to say, okay, we're going to give you more money, or they're going to say, we're going to downsize until it's going to be a little company. They don't want to be a little company. They want to be big companies. They want to expand. They want more money. Greed is there. Greed is good. You know what I mean? So yeah, when you cry about, I'm not paid enough, what are you going to do? Go and ask for more. If they don't give it to you, what are you going to do? Quit. And they're going to hire someone else if there's someone else. Now, that's the thing. Is there someone else? And if yes, why? Is the government controlling this? Giving, handouts? Probably. Are they accepting immigrants? They're going to pay for less than you would pay. You would work here. Yes. So when I came here, I could work as let's say I work as a teacher, half the price, half the amount of salary than a teacher would work here. And that means a teacher, American born, native born, you like that word? I like it. Native born here would work for less, has to work for less, but he has a house, he has children, he has, payments to make. He has a lot of things. He has a standard of living. If he has to pay, he's going to get less money. He has to sell his house. He is going to lose his car, and then his wife and all that. It goes with that, by that. So what are you going to do? Yeah, get more immigrants like me. They're going to take your job. I'm not going to get the job of a university professor because it's much harder. So that's why those guys will say, yeah, let everybody come in. Why? Because your position is not threatened. But a pipe layer's position is threatened by one like me. I'm going to work in construction half the price you work. You paid $18 an hour, I will work for 15. You're going to be fired right on the spot. Constructions again. Truck driving again. Because people come from overseas with nothing, and when they say, we're going to be $15 an hour paid, shit, that's a ton of money. I don't have anything. I stay with 5 other people in a 2-room apartment. You know how much money I will save? But can you do that as a Native American? No, you can't. Unless you're going to go to that standard and live with 5 other people in an apartment. So what kind of life you have? Is that the life your parents, your grandparents built for you? I don't think so. I don't think so. So you see how things, it's people intervene. You have these people coming in, you depress the income. And I'm still quoting Mr. Macron. I intend to raise this issue during my visit to the United States in December, the French president said. So the government's going to talk with another government regarding supply and demand. Great. Macron's statement comes following a statement made today by the French Foreign Minister Catherine Colonna during her visit to Washington, where she called for maintaining communication channels with Russia, which indicate that France might be seeking a more balanced political position in the global arena. Yeah, they tried this. They tried this for some time, but they got smacked. Now the thing is, I saw a few. I saw a few trends that we gotta pay attention on. These guys, friends, wants to talk to Americans. That means the gas situation is bad, and which I covered some articles that about 1/3 of French gas stations do not have at least one of the whatever gas they have over there, 83, 89, 80 or something like this, the one kind of gas. So they have shortages over there, and there are long lines from what the articles I saw. So that means they start cracking bigger and bigger. Now Blinken said, oh, we're ready for we would negotiate, we'll look for a diplomatic solution with Russia, but Russia doesn't want. That's another aspect. They never said they would negotiate. The other thing is General Austin of the United States called Shoigu of Russia and discussed the issue in Ukraine. So that the situation over there. So that's a lot of things happening in one day. The stock market jumped big time in the past day. One day it was just gold jumped as well. So these kind of things show a change, a shift in something. Is that because the Russians started bombarding the infrastructure of Ukraine? Is because, as I said many times, things will end in about October or November, because the winter comes and the Europeans will not be able to pay and have energy, and the reality starts to set in, and they will take their how do you call that, virtue signaling badges off their chests and say, okay, Russia, give us something. Is that what's gonna happen? I think all these things gonna converge to something. I'm waiting. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.